and welcome back to another episode of The Credit Authority. I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and once again, we always want to get started by saying thank you to our sponsors. So thank you so much to Equity First. If you are experiencing credit and or financial challenges, feel free to reach out to any one of their trained professionals. They are nationwide and bilingual, and they are waiting to help answer any questions that you may have. And without further ado, we are bringing back a past guest. We have in studio with us today, Joe DiChiara, and he is with Bedrock Business Builders. And as much as we've spoken to you in the past, Joe, about accounting, which we will say, quote unquote, may be a little boring, we are here today to talk about the release of your new book. So congratulations on your success, and fill us in.
Thank you. And it's not that accounting and taxes are that. It's really exciting for some people.
I think it's mental.
It lost the excitement for me for a long time ago. So I ventured out. I'm an entrepreneur with a CPA license. So I've been doing a number of different things, related to accounting and taxes. And a lot of it is stuff that I didn't actually plan myself, which is pretty interesting. I just sort of go with the flow. And I was introduced to, I've hired freelancers ever since there's been freelancers, web design, marketing, and occasionally for accounting and taxes. Never really had a lot of success with it, to be honest with you. So I hired a coach about 2.5 years ago, and I found out the reason was it wasn't them, it was me. Because apparently it was hiring people that were just like me that wanted to be entrepreneurs. And so I took his advice, and he actually had a business he just launched, which he wanted me to try, called Hire My VA. And what it was his experience, because he had the same experience, and he found a formula. And it had to do with hiring people in the Philippines specifically. And some of his people had been there 10, 15 years. So I said, well, you're doing something right. So let me in on this. So I was actually the second round of that business, and I was a beta tester. And it worked. We hired our first team member about in November. It'll be 2 years. She was a graphic designer. And now she's grown she's actually doing web design, and she actually helped us put the book together. So she's doing stuff she never planned on doing, and so am I. So we expanded. We started after decades of trying, I was finally able to start scaling my business because I started hiring the right people. And right now we have 7 full-time accountants that work with us. So we went from 0 in 2 years to 7 full-time, and we're still understaffed.
Now, do you think when you're hiring a VA, do you think your success is about your ability to create defined tasks?
Oh, absolutely.
Where do you think your failure was? Let's start with that. I know so many people over the years that have hired VAs and they've not had success. And I think you hit it on the point. We want to hire people that just get it. Don't you understand? And I'm guilty of that too, even when I hire people for my own company. So what do you think was the main reason for the failure? Was it a lack of connection? Was it not setting the appropriate expectation?
Well, I'll tell you what, and my mother helped me run my business for over 15 years. And when she was 62, which is my age now, when she was 62, I said, I can do accounting remotely, and I want to try this. I want to teach you. And she said, what, are you crazy? I'm in New Mexico. And I said, yeah, but that's the whole idea. And so I taught her how to do bookkeeping, and that put an idea in my head that, if I could teach my mom how to do this, maybe I could teach other people. And my mother, she put it better than I could put it. She said, what do you think? I can read your mind? Because we went, and thank God it was my mother, because anybody else would have just quit on me. I would say, oh, you don't know what I mean? So it was just like you said. Yeah. It's like, wait, don't you get it? What? So I had to create this step-by-step approach. And that actually became a course that I started teaching people. I said, oh, now I actually have it. Yeah, I got all this information out of my head. I put it into a manual and I started teaching people. That was over 15 years ago. So what Larry taught me was, you have to literally put every step, it's expectations. It's like, what do you expect this person to do? Because if I just said, listen, I just want you to do my social media, they're just going to do it. I said, no, you got to focus on taxes and accounting. We broke it down. Elizabeth, my executive assistant. So we finally said, oh, this works. Let's start hiring accountants. And that worked. So, and now what we do is we template everything. We have procedure manuals. I think we have a procedure manual on how to do the procedure manual. So,
I have a big question for you, because obviously when somebody's looking to hire a VA, like look at myself. I just emailed you the other day, Joe, looking forward to meeting you, want to pick your brain. I need to hire, I'm thinking of hiring a VA. The idea of hiring somebody is because there is a need, which generally means we don't have the time. How do you teach somebody to separate their busy schedule to allocate the appropriate time to hiring and training the VA?
Oh, so
they're not right next door, right? They're not sitting side by side.
Yeah. So Larry, that was the big thing. So I don't know if you're in business, they say you automatically don't have time. There's no way we could do everything. So time is a valuable resource. Once time goes by, we can't get it back. So the first thing that Larry taught me was when you put an ad out there, you want to be specific. Again, always be specific. This is the job. This is our corporate culture. If this fits with what you want, then answer this ad. But he said you got to put a secret word in the ad. And I tell people, if you don't put the word baseball in capital letters in your response, in the headline, I'm not even reading your response. And about 80% don't even do it.
Because they're not actually reading the directions.
They're cutting and pasting. So I was like, that saved us a lot of time. Then we make them jump through hoops. Then we make them do a short video. They answer 3 questions. Why should I hire you? Why? And I don't even remember I've actually taken myself out of the whole interview process because we came up with a system. So we have another executive assistant. She does the whole process. We got it down to a science. And so what happened was we started, it's like fishing in the same pond. We started running out of candidates. And one of our team members, after a month, she said, listen, I don't want to slow you down, but I'm doing something else. She had this Facebook group where she was training bookkeepers and accountants how to get jobs like she just got. And she's like, that's just taking up too much of my time. So the light bulb went off. I said, well, I have this course that I taught, And it worked. We had 350 people. Now, all we did was put it in she had 1,500 people in her Facebook group. Almost 400 people signed up. We had a free workshop to say, listen, if you're interested, this is what we're going to teach you. 100 people showed up to the live class, which is a big, you get 300 people sign up, maybe 50 show up if you're lucky. So 100 people showed up. 55 paid for the course. It was $200 for a 13-week course, which I already had. I just had to tweak it a little. And it was $200, which is a lot of money to people in the Philippines. So I said, oh my God, we struck, gold here. We went through the course. I think 52 graduated. We actually give them a certificate. They had to do a project. They had to do so they had to jump through hoops. So now I have a big pool of talent to choose from. And we hired already 4 of them. And they have turned out to be, because, the cream rises to the top.
To the top, yeah.
And now we already scheduled our third batch. We're not doing it during tax season. We started another course just on taxes. And, that it's become a whole we're separating. It's a whole nother division.
Which is amazing because it just goes to show you the amount of flexibility that is available in today's workforce, the dedication that people are looking to their craft, and of course to get trained by somebody as wonderful as you. What's better than that?
Sometimes I wake up and I say, I'm actually getting paid for this.
Yeah. Look, we get better with age, right?
I hope so. The older I get, and it is getting better.
Gets better with age.
So what happened was we had this manual, 200-page manual, and my assistant said, we should turn this into a book.
And that's what you've done.
Yeah.
So I think what we'd love to do, just for the sake of time for today, I'm going to land up inviting you back so we could speak about that book after I have an opportunity to read that book. Once again, we are in studio today with Joe DiChiara with Bedrock Business Builders. Joe, if somebody wants to reach you, how do they touch base?
Very easy. Just go to bedrockbusinessbuilders.com. And we have events on there. You can just connect with us. We do a weekly mastermind. You can register on there. You could actually go to mastermindwithjoe.com and register. So we make it very easy.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to have you back. And until next time, stay tuned. We have another wonderful guest coming up.